Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we're going to be talking about arguably the most stupid hero in Dota right now, and that is Undying. Undying can be played, honestly, in a plethora of roles, and I'm not just saying that. I think Undying offlane is extremely good. We're going to be focused on Undying position 5 here today. Even Undying mid is completely viable, and no, I'm not just saying that, I genuinely believe that. And the reason why is Decay is a tango, alright? It's a tango, because if you don't know what happened, they changed Decay. It comes out way faster, so it's really easy to hit the opponent with Decay and not miss due to the cast point, and it's easier to hit two-man decays. But most importantly, in the past, when you decayed someone, if the decay expired, you would lose the health. Now you gain the health. They just completely flipped it. They completely flipped the script. This hero went from just dying at minute 2, because the decay would expire, Undying would die. Now he just full heals. It's insane. Literally, I'm an offlane player. You can't play against Undying. You can't play against Undying. It's complete. There's like, the only hero I like playing into Undying, kind of, is Enigma, because I can get the lane back and specifically avoid him. The strategy there is to avoid him. I don't think there's a hero that outtrades Undying right now. It doesn't exist, and so let's get into it. Also, I want to tell you guys that if you've been struggling with solo queue and you're looking to get to the next rank, I'm going to be able to help you. Like, literally, with the GameLeap website, I'm going to give you guys guides that are going to make it unbelievably clear on what you need to do. So if you've been stuck in the solo queue grind, you don't know what to do, and you want to become absolutely broken, but like, actually, you want to become much, much better at Dota, and you want to take it more seriously, the GameLeap website is going to help you do that. So click the link down below. I'm going to help you get to the next rank, and I'll see you there. So starting off with the item build, we got, you might see that he has no tangos. It's because your Q, Decay, are tangos. Also, he has 6.7 regen with 6 mangoes. Clearly, you can see the concept here. Get some HP regen going with mangoes, and then click people with Decay. You can use the Decay and should use the Decay off cooldown. Now, the only thing that a lot of Undyings do wrong is they go too aggressive at level 1. Make sure you're picking on someone that's isolated to start. Just for some perspective, we're watching Fishman, position 5 player, very talented player, the 5 player for Entity. So we're watching him play here today. And a big thing that people do wrong is they would like run at this Mars right away, and that's really stupid. You want to wait till you can find someone that's isolated. Went for the 2-man Decay, didn't get it, but it's fine. Finds the Willow on the side. A 1v1 matchup, you'll never lose. You'll never lose. You can't lose. You cannot lose 1v1 matchups. I literally don't think there's a hero that conveniently outtrades Undying in the game. I think he is the most reliable trader in Dota at the moment. And so yeah, at this point he's going to chase a bit, looking for the Mars. Doesn't Decay right there. Waves being dragged, and good players will drag the wave against Undying. But I'm going to keep it real, guys. In your average pub, if you play Undying and you get decent at trading, you'll win every single lane. Because people don't drag the waves. They don't know how to mess with the equilibrium and mess with just how the lane plays out. And you can see he's a very talented player here. He just auto-attacks the guy off cooldown. Then he proceeds to use his 72 damage, because he has 8 bonus damage from Decay, now 76, to CS and deny half the wave. And honestly, this is something I'm pretty bad at, which is like tombstone usage. It's a very long cooldown. It's a 90-second cooldown. You know, it's a minute and a half, but it's one of the best abilities in the game for obvious reasons. It does a ton of damage and slows. But you're going to see the Mars commits for the wave here, and I love what he does because he knows Mars is going to get greedy. Mars wants these creeps so bad, and so, yeah, he commits in, and he puts the tombstone not in a great spot. I think he should have put it more like directly on top of him. I guess he felt that Mars would try to disengage to the left and not the right. Mars makes the smart play to try to book it to the left here. Funny enough, he would have gotten chased down anyway, goes for the TP, but zombies hit pretty hard, and he goes down. And that's a very fair, good game well played from Fishman in the old chat. Because when you TP out 2 minutes into the game, and you die, your laning stage is over. And I just want you to look at the CS here. Gyrocopter's not doing great. To be fair, it's hard to last hit as that hero. But Mars has 4 last hits and 0 denies at minute 3. And it's not going to get any better because old Undying would giga fall off. Like, just for some perspective, old Undying fell off so hard. New Undying doesn't fall off because Decay is just a broken ability as he gets a 2-man Decay, which is straight up 160 health when they expire. It just gives you the health. So he's going to chill here, right, waiting for decays, just playing around decay. As the enemy gets towards level 2, level 3, you can't just hit them as much anymore. You got to be careful about dying from full. So when they're hitting level 2, level 3, you want to build up decays before going in. So even here, I actually feel like he could decay a bit earlier. He sticks on top of him. By the way, attack moving, very important concept on Undying. If you can't move in between hits, you're going to lose literally 50% of your auto attacks due to not understanding this mechanic, as he's bullying 2 heroes off of the creep wave. Yep. This is pretty standard, honestly. Like, this is not me nitpicking a game. I literally just picked a game where he went the item build that I like, so I can talk about it, and then just loaded it up. That's it. I didn't nitpick from there. This is every single Undying lane, as he hits another 2-man decay, and from there he's going to chase down the Willow. Considers tombstoning. I think he does. Hits the decay. Unfortunately ends up dying here, but the tombstone cleans up the Mars. So he picks up a kill. Willow nearly dies. He barely went down there. Honestly, if he had a stick, he would have killed them both. Decides to go for more of an aggressive build, which I understand. You beat Mars pretty bad. Willow also doesn't necessarily trade well into you, and as a result, he's won the lane. It's done. I mean, look at the net worth. Mars, 1,300, Gyro, 2,000. It's not even close. He's also quite rich, right? That's the thing. Because you don't have to buy tangos or a salve for your carry or for yourself, you have way more net worth. And you might be like, oh, but you're buying all these mangoes. Yeah, you are, but like, that's all you need. You just need a couple of mangoes, like the 6 mangoes, and you're chilling. So he puts 2 points in decay. This basically helps you dumpster the lane, because it makes the ability to do 40 damage, which is pretty good, and lowers the cooldown. It really is noticeable. It's noticeable the extra 2 seconds, so he keeps laning, and honestly, you can just lane for like 8 minutes, and it's fine. He refilled the mids bottle, which is like cool and all, but you really don't even have to do what he's doing here. I'm sorry, you don't even have to necessarily do that. If you die, it's great to refill the mid bottle. That's a fantastic play from the 5 as he hunts down the Willow. Does he get him with that? Oh my gosh. This is it's so gross. Might go for the tombstone here. Gets the double kill. And yeah, it's just what this hero does. And honestly, the Gyro's CS seems a little bit low. Like if Gyro was a better hero, like a hero that can control the wave better and CS better, it would be even more drastic net worth disparity. Not that 1,000 gold at minute 6 isn't impressive, you know. It's pretty good. 1,000 gold at minute 6 it's decent. It's definitely good. Another play that's really good on Undying is diving the tier 1. So you've probably won the lane at this point. If you haven't, you're garbage. You should really look at your first 6 minutes into the game, because you're doing something wrong, I assure you. But I love what he does. They have a card here, and so he starts building up decay. He's prepping the tower dive. So he's building the decay. This is 6-minute mana boots, which is heinous. That is so gross that he can do that. But he does, and he's going to start building up the decays. Even here, I would have liked to see him decay first. I feel like he's a bit slow on this, so a bit off. But he's just going to push this guy off the wave. Just kicks him out. And what this does is it means Mars is losing a full creep wave, and the cart's going to hit the tower. Not too much, but a little bit. Right, the cart's going to hit the tower. And also, I think he could have positioned the tombstone more here, because then I think the tower hits the zombies. It tanks for the cart, it tanks for the creep wave. So that's something to consider. Don't quote me on that one. I'm actually not sure. But I have seen players do this play a lot, so I'd imagine that's part of it. But they try to keep the cart alive. Unfortunately, oh no, they actually do it. So they get like the majority of this tier 1 off this push. There's a bit of a meh play because the Gyro lost all of his health. But either way, yeah, this is just what the games look like. They try to kill him, but he's healing. And just so you guys understand the new decay, because I don't really feel like I explain it well, basically like in the past when the decay expired, so right here, a decay is going to expire, he's going to go from 16 to 12, old Undying would just lose 80 health. Like he would just lose it, straight up, just boom. And he would die here, right? The old Undying is dead. I assure you, he's dead. Because he would be missing this health and they would be able to commit on it. Right, but instead he gets off another decay. And by the way, he's 100% dead because the last 4 decays also wouldn't have healed him. So trust me, he's dead there. He's dead there way earlier. It's not even close. And I know this is going to be surprising to you guys, but I'm gonna show you a really cool play that you can make on Undying. So we're 9 minutes into the game here. At this point, most supports are stacking or rotating or something like that. Guess what? He's going to decay the Mars. I know. Next up, let's talk about ulti usage and tombstone usage, as this is going to be the main thing that, you know, basically impacts the mid game for Undying. One thing that I think Undying players do wrong, even Fishman in this clip, I'm not like a huge fan of how he uses Tombstone based on the circumstance. And I think Tombstone's a hard spell because like this game, they do have counters. They have Lina in particular, just really high attack speed, right? And good range. But in general, I think if the fight looks convincing, like if the enemy team commits into your tier 1, they get a really good counter initiation. I honestly would have liked for him to consider throwing it more offensively just to bait the enemy team in. Now, if you're going to do that, where like, let's say instead of throwing it here, he throws it here, which he could have done because he could flush golem and there's no way he'd get bursted. You have to make sure there's follow-up, and I think there is follow-up here, right? I think they do have heroes that can chase. Like Clock's going to look to break out, the Decrep comes out, and they kind of just realize it's a bad fight, straight up. So if the enemy team dives the tower, I recommend you throw the Tombstone. Even you can throw it directly on the enemy. Now, he doesn't have a point in Soul Rip, which makes it a bit hard to save the Tombstone, but like, yeah, they are able to kill off their zombies, and I just think it would have gotten one more zombie off. And so it's something to consider. But in general, just determine whether or not they have a hard counter like Snapfire. If they don't, you can kind of just throw it on top of them. Like in the early game, it's very hard for people to kill Tombstone without killing themselves. Like literally, if you try to kill a Tombstone with a Flesh Golem Undying hitting you, you just die. Because how Flesh Golem works, which is Undying's ulti, is when he hits you, you're slowed by 40% for 6 seconds. It's one of the longest duration slows in the game. And then it amps the damage you take from every source, including teammates, everything, by 25%. So you get shredded, right? You get absolutely annihilated when you're hit by Flesh Golem. All right, so the first item he's gonna go for here is Holy Locket. I will admit, I don't really like this game because he went for, I mean, he's not under leveled. I would say level 9 at minute 19 is pretty standard. You can see he's like the same level as the enemy supports. It's and the enemy offlaner. Oh, that is so sad how poor Mars is. Look at this Mars. This is the Undying effect. It's so sad. He couldn't come back into the game. This guy is so poor. I love laughing at poor people, by the way. It's just something I like doing. Either way, I don't really love Holy Locket here because he only has 2 points in Soul Rip. I think the main benefit of Holy Locket is amping the Soul Rip. To be fair, it kind of makes you tanky. You know, it's a well-rounded item, 250 health. You know, you still amplify the heals that you do give. But in general, I kind of would have liked to see the mana boots in a mech back in a Holy Locket, just because I think the mech is a little bit better earlier on. Plus, it gives you armor that your hero desperately lacks. He's against a Lina and a PA here, so I actually strongly disagree with this item build. I would have liked to see him pick up the chainmail from the mech, pick up a magic wand, and then complete the mech, just to be way more survivable in these fights. So I don't really like his item build in that regard. Obviously, this guy is, you know, a better 5 player than I am, so you can take what I say with a grain of salt. I'm just giving my opinion, but I personally feel like he didn't necessarily address his matchups this game. But he goes for the Holy Locket, clearly valuing the heal amp and being able to heal his teammates and himself. And the bonus health is really good. Just to kind of stack on top with the Flash Golem and just become very tanky. So one of the biggest advantages of Undying fundamentally as a hero is Roshan, because Tombstone tanks Rosh really well. Every single time Rosh hits a zombie, it takes Rosh 2 hits to kill a zombie. On top of that, Flesh Golem does work on Rosh, which means you amp up the damage Rosh takes by 25%. That's clearly huge, and so Undying's just insanely good at Rosh. On top of that, if the enemy team tries to contest it, they're running into a Tombstone, and I'm sure you guys understand how that works. It doesn't work. Another big advantage of this hero is nighttime vision. Basically, Tombstone gives a ton of vision. It gives like Ob's daytime vision in the night, right? So we'll see a hookshot in here, and anytime you're gonna dive a tower, throw down Tombstone. Always just preemptively throw it down because it gives vision, and it's obviously gonna build up the zombies. But look, this is not me bugging the vision. Literally, this Tombstone sees to here. So if you're trying to go high ground in the nighttime, you could just throw down a Tombstone on the edge of the hill and you see everything. You literally see everything. It's insane. It's so powerful. And so yeah, he can scout it, like literally sees the Willow here, largely because of the Tombstone and from the zombies chasing. I forgot, they give vision too, right? So you just see absolutely everything, and it's extremely easy for your team to go high ground. As we see the Flat Cannon come out, beautiful Shackle from the Wind, the Flat Cannon comes out. That was a horrible decrypt. But yeah, you're so good at going high ground. You can see that this hero is just well-rounded. And the problem in the past was you would win level 1, level 2 in the lane, and then you would fall off. A lot of the time you would win level 1 and then just lose from there on out. You would have to rely on Soul Rip to sustain yourself, and so you'd have to spam Soul Rip on yourself. And that felt trash because you had to buy more mana regen to just sustain that. And then you couldn't put points in Tombstone as a result. So it really just, yeah, it just feels bad. It definitely feels bad when it plays out like that, right? Where you'd have to Soul Rip yourself. And on top of that, we're going to be able to see the healing build come into play. Undying healing is pretty nutty. This hero's ability to heal is crazy. It's crazy. Because Soul Rip is a really impressive heal. It's 450 HP every 6 seconds. Assuming there's 10 units, which often in the mid to late game there is. And so look at this guy's health on Gyro. This guy's, what, a 3rd HP? One heal probably pops him up about a 4th. Then, if he needs to, he can lock at him and mech him still, as Soul Rip comes back up, so he could opt for another heal. I would have liked to see him heal here. I don't really, I'm sorry, he had a magic wand the whole game. It's in his Holy Locket. I'm definitely going to get flamed in the comments for that. Because I know I said that he didn't have one, but he has literally a Holy Locket. People are gonna be like, Speed, you're so stupid. You're such an idiot. Alright, either way, it's just, yeah, it's a 6-second cooldown heal. Gyro gets gone on. Honestly, would have liked to see him heal earlier, but decides to go for it onto the clock. Unfortunately, gets feared here, but we'll come back in. Might be able to actually still save the clock. Gets off the mech. Gets off the mech from downtown. Gyro has Aegis, so he's prioritizing saving the clock, and oh my gosh, Clockwork lived. As he pops the locket, healing him up to full, giving him full mana as well. And yeah, this hero, the heals you pump out on locket timing, on locket max Soul Rip is disgusting. It's disgusting. You just need some mana, so buy some clarities. I think he's missing clarities, honestly. Because he could be spamming it a lot more. I think he's actually kind of inefficient in that regard. I will admit, I think that's something he could improve on, which is just like preemptively having clarities so that he can be slightly more active with popping Soul Rip off cooldown. Alright, that's going to be all for today's video. This game is going to kind of end up shortly, so nothing really too crazy to watch as he full heals Clockwork again. Complete stomp of a fight coming out here. Just absolute disaster. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.